boy is back, 'cause you know he's the white boy.
It's all about crowds these days, isn't it? Crowdsourcing, crowdfunding, the wisdom of crowds, but crowds aren't wise at all, are they? Look, I'll prove it to you. And the bigger the crowd you appeal to, the more likely you are to get some cool nuggets of gold out of them. But then that benefit goes away in large part because you have to fucking deal with all the bullshit that gets thrown at you. I mean, consider Google. Google's algorithms are supposed to throw up the most useful information on anything you search on. But that's not necessarily what happens. I mean, Google 9/11, and you will be bombarded primarily with conspiracy nonsense. Over and over and over again. Because the algorithm's broken, because these people all trust each other, and because they all interlink with each other, and because they're still going on about it while all the reasonable people have fucked off. Wikipedia is supposed to work on this basis, but they lock down all kinds of pages because people won't leave it the fuck alone. They keep vandalising it, or the stupids invade. And then on the other side of things, you've got people setting themselves up as little personal dictators of the odd page here and there and not allowing anyone to correct them. So an otherwise idealistic vision has gone completely tits up. When you're producing work, right, sometimes people go and they appeal to the fans for ideas. The trouble is everyone's got their own fucking headcanon, so if you try and appeal to the fans, you can't, because they're a mindless crowd that doesn't agree with themselves, and you can't do anything. You've got to take some kind of leadership there, or your project is fucked before it even starts. It was Carlin who said, think how stupid the average person is, and then realise that half of them are dumber than that. I mean, if you took a random sampling of 990-ish people, completely at random, and I happened to be in it, I would be the smartest fucker in the room. And I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, so that should terrify you, let alone ordinary people, and yet you want to appeal to the masses for difficult decisions and so on. Or over your projects, or to help you out. And again, it's signal to noise. You're just fucked on that basis. Crowdfunding's alright because all you're really asking for is some money and a bit of faith in what you're doing, but again, the stupidity of crowds. A lot of people do not understand how crowdfunding works. They don't understand the problems that can come in with your projects that make it slow or fuck you up or make you have to look for someone else you can work with, or you get scammed or whatever. You know, you're not pre-ordering, you're supporting someone to try and make a product. That's what it is. Whenever you back anything on crowdfunding, that's what you have to keep in mind. It may never happen, you know? So use your noggin. Trouble is, crowds, lots of people don't. Lots of people are stupid. Lots of people are clever too, but they tend to be quiet. What it comes down to in a lot of these cases, like Google, like Wikipedia, like social media, quite frankly, is that you appeal to the crowd, most of them lose interest, and you end up with the tyranny of a tiny minority of the people who can be asked. And who can be asked the most? Fanatics, mentally unhinged people, and obsessives. And so they dominate the search engines, they dominate the discourse, and they dominate whenever you try to appeal to a crowd. Because most people say their piece and fuck off, and you're left with the persistent lunatics. Just some thoughts. I don't really know where I was going with this. Let's crowdsource some answers. What do you think? Jesus. If you like what I do here, please like, subscribe. You can find me on social media, on Twitter at Grimachew, James Desborough on Facebook, James Grim Desborough on G+. My main website is postmortemstudios.wordpress.com. If you want to help me out with a little money, which will go to support my games, writing and other projects, you can do so at Patreon, which is also Grimachew.